Hello, my name is Johan Falk. I work at NodeOne Scandinavia. This is episode, could it be 12, 13, something like that, of the Learn Rules Framework screencast series, where we learn the rules framework. Kind of good title, I think. In this screencast, we're going to look at how to debug rules and find out where your rules don't work the way you want to. Before moving along, I of course want to mention the Drupal learning library over at NodeOne.se /learn-Drupal. A lot of configuration stuff we have close to, well, when you listen to this, it's likely that we have 200 items here available under Creative Commons license, and it makes me happy. We also have a book. It's available not under Creative Commons license, but at least it's available at Amazon.com. So, we have created, well, during the example screencast for last screencast, we created quite a few, last 5 screencasts, what do you know, quite a few rules, and some of them pretty complex, like this promotion synchronization was pretty complex, and the create promotion rule was also pretty complex. And sometimes they just don't work the way you want, and you want to find out why the heck it doesn't work. Sometimes, pretty often you think that there's a bug in rules that doesn't allow you to do this or do that. I have to say that so far I have not encountered a bug in the rules engine. Sometimes it just breaks. It doesn't work. Well, you get a white screen or whatever. That has happened to me quite a few times for Rules 2 in Drupal 7. But it has never happened to me that rules didn't act the way it should when it actually did something. And that is quite impressive, and I think is also a very good case for using automated tests in your modules. Rules has a lot of automated tests. Well, that means that it's probably your configuration that's wrong. And here's a good way to find out what's wrong with it. You head over to, configuration, workflow rules, which is where we are right now, and you go into settings. Here you have the possibility to show debug information. Show it, say, always is a good place, a good thing if you want to see what's going on your site. The standard configuration here is really good. It just outputs a message in the help area. Save. If we do this and say now create ourselves a new article, which will give us some rules firing off. Article, a test article, alpha beta. Some dummy lips, let's have, here's Dixon, he's a cool guy. And saving, we should have quite a few rules firing off here. So let's see this debug information. Alright, this is cool, it works. Rules evaluation log says, okay, I had one reaction rule reacting on event after saving new content. Evaluating conditions of rules action on article creation. The condition inside this is evaluated to true. Okay, so we continue. All the conditions, the AND component of conditions, they are by default grouped in an AND component in reaction rules. It's evaluated to true, so it fires off the rule actions on article creation, which was the component the only action that we had in that reaction rule. We can open that one as well and find out what's going on inside here, and inside here, and inside here. We can see here that when we create this promotion article, we fire off the same rule, reaction rule, as we had here to start with. After saving new content, we had actions on article creation. Let's actually see here that we have this. Search. Yep. Down here, when we create promotion, it fires off, but knows that it shouldn't execute this twice because we'll end up in recursion, so it just locks that down immediately. Good stuff. Pretty often when you inspect the rules like this, you see that some kind of condition is evaluated to false when you expect it to be true. And that's, well, then you just hit edit on that component or that condition and see what's going on there. If I do that, you can just see I'm brought into that part of the rules configuration. Another useful thing here is that you can see how long time all of this has taken. We can see that total time for this is like less than 30 milliseconds, which is pretty nice. But we can also see, and this is probably more important, that between this step here and this step here we have quite a lot of time, relative measurements. Same thing goes between this one and this one. But this one is actually the biggest one. So we can expect this one to be the heaviest one, and we see here that this was a big one, probably, taking us from 5 to 13 milliseconds, 6 to 13 milliseconds. If you have, well, you should pay attention to this. In this case we act on node save, and then it doesn't really matter if we add 28 milliseconds or not. But if we add 28 milliseconds on every page load on your site, then you will have problems. So it's a good, well, this is a good place to find out what your rules are doing and how much time it takes. Another thing that you could be interested in is, well, let's switch to this tab. There's an action for debugging things. Let's have a look at that. Article creation, content is of type, do this action, and then we have the devel module, which I do not have enabled. Okay, so let's quickly enable that. A development tool module that you really have to use. This, I'm not kidding. If you're developing Drupal sites, building Drupal sites, you need the devel module. So let's reload this. The debug value. And we can debug something, say the created content, save. And if we now try to create a new article, going back here, test article 2, save, we'll get a DPM, Drupal print message, or Chroma print message, depending on how you see it, of this node object, which is really useful. If you think that something is fishy here, I don't have this body value, why don't I have the body value, or why isn't there a ID for this taxonomy term, or whatever, then this is a good thing to use. Alright, that's basically it about debugging rules the rules configuration. See you in the next screencast. I won't actually have a separate screencast telling you about saving entities, force saving entities to get entity IDs, because we covered that quite well in the last of the example screencasts. I think that's 11, but I'm not sure. Yeah, next screencast we'll have a new chapter and we'll probably talk about Rule Scheduler, which is really useful. See you there.